Alright, I just want to get this off of my chest right now. I'm not really huge when it comes to first person or third person shooters.
Don't get me wrong, there are some games I do enjoy. Halo, Team Fortress 2, Ratchet and Clank, just to name a few. The thing is, I actually prefer a 3D or 2D platforming game. It's what I like to play. If I want to play any of those games, maybe even CSGO, I prefer to play it with friends, co-op, or just online altogether, not with a bunch of random people. Until I played this one. When Splatoon was created in May 2015, I didn't exactly get it. Yeah, I didn't have a Wii U at the time, to be honest, and when I did, I was mainly curious about Super Mario Maker. You know, the game where you can create your own levels and such, and you can upload them for friends or random streamers to try out your levels and probably get angry with them. I didn't exactly get Splatoon at the time. In fact, I wasn't really curious around the game. But I hear some good things about it, and I decided, you know what, I'll see what all the fuss is about. And when I tried that out, I actually had a lot of fun with it. Though, once again, I got Splatoon nearly at the end of the Wii U's life cycle, which means I didn't get a chance to try the Splatfest. I mean, I did try out one, but not all of them, so yeah, it stinks to get it, and then all of a sudden, everything ends. Until Splatoon 2 came around. I knew I had to get Splatoon 2 for the Nintendo Switch, and when I got it, I actually love it. I really did love it. Perhaps more than Splatoon 1. Like I said before, I'm not really into these type of games. I'm not a fan of first person or third person shooters, or any type of shooting games altogether. If I ever, ever played any of those type of games, like CSGO, Battlefront 2, or Black Ops, I prefer playing it with friends nearby or online. Never with random people, never by myself. But Splatoon, on the other hand, that is a different situation altogether. I actually love this game.
So I heard Splatoon 3 is coming in a little bit, maybe this year or maybe next year. I figured, why not do a review on not only one game, but actually two games. That's right, I'm not only reviewing Splatoon 1, but also Splatoon 2. Mostly because I kind of missed the opportunity to review Splatoon 1, not to mention, it would be a good comparison between the first and the second one. It would be like old versus new, or the death battle you always see, which one is the greatest, except, less bloody and such. But anyways, let's get into the reviews, shall we? This is Jeremiah, and we're reviewing Splatoon 1 and 2. It's jamming time.
As soon as you boot up the game, you meet up with the breaking news by the Splatoon sisters Callie and Marie. Apparently, the great Zapfish, the thing that was powering the entire city, has been stolen. By whom, you may ask? Well, no one actually knows for sure. Except for a certain old paranoid geezer named Captain Cuttlefish, proclaims it is none other than the Octarians, the ancient enemies to the Inklings. You see, they go way long back. They both were in a great turf war altogether, but due to the lack of wireless technology, I mean, seriously, why use an outlet to activate your own weapons? The Inklings went on top, and they are proclaimed to be the winners. Now the Octarians are planning to start the new Splat Wars, and this time they're powering up with the great Zapfish. So, since Captain Cuttlefish is out of shape, he decided to send you, yes you, as Agent number 3 to venture through the mini worlds, collect all the mini Zapfish, and try to grab the great Zapfish and save Inklopi Square. You might be wondering where's Agent 1 and Agent 2. Well, you actually met them, the Splatoon sisters. Which I'm guessing that's not the only reason why they kidnapped the great Zapfish for Splatoon 2, but they also did it on the same day the Splatoon sisters are disbanded and Kylie went missing. And thus, Off the Hook is born with Pearl and Marina. Now with great Captain Cuttlefish is off on his own adventures, and Agent 3 is unknown, we've sent in a new agent, you, in Splatoon 2, as Agent number 4. That's right, you have to repeat the whole process yet again. Travel through various mini areas, grab the mini Zapfishes to go to the next world, in order to grab the great Zapfish from the Octarians, and also figure out the mysteries of what exactly happened to Kali. Long story short, Kali was brainwashed. Yeah.
So yes, the story is basically the same. The great Zapfish is stolen, you have to go and get it back from the Octarians, rinse and repeat for the second. I mean, I'm not expecting much of a story, but at the same time, I wish they tried to change things up, you know? Not like going off the rails, but try a different approach to the story element. Maybe uh, something else entirely. And instead of the great Zapfish, maybe they're in a different situation altogether. That's where the Octo expansion comes in.
In this story mode, you don't play as an Inkling, but actually an Octoling. A Amnesiac Octoling, to be exact. You wake up in the subway station where you meet up with Captain Cuttlefish, the guy in the very first game that sends in you as Agent number 3. Now with the two of you working together with a blaster in hand, you two venture through the subway stations, following a mysterious buzz, and find your way back to the Inklopi Square for freedom! And once you complete the game, you actually play as an Octoling. That's actually a really cool idea.
How weird is that the DLC gives more story than the original?
Well, if you have ever played any famous warfare games like Halo, Call of Duty, or even Team Fortress 2, then you probably know the basics. Join a group of 4, fight the opponent's side, and whoever gets the most points wins. However, there are a few key differences to this game. To get the story mode out of the way, you play inside a Mario Galaxy type of level design, where you're sent in to find the mini Zapfishes, the only source of power to open up to the next world in order to get the great Zapfish. Now to how to get them involves 3 different ways. Try and reach from point A to point B, fight against the Octolings in Splat War in order to grab the mini Zapfishes in their capsules, or fighting the bosses. Now, there are a lot of different kinds of weapons. Flat shooters, which has medium range but does a lot of damage. The snipers, where you can snipe at a distance. The rollers, which you can roll down enemies though it has close range. And my personal favorite, the duelies. Not only can you shoot two weapons at once, but you can dodge by tilting to the left while pressing B and while shooting too. Oh yes, mowing down your enemies is one part of the game. It's not entirely the main focus. You see, every weapon you use leaves a trail of ink, which you can use in various situations, like swimming through it, giving you more mobility as you turn yourself into a squid, or octopus in this case. Or you can build up your secondary weapon, like the Tentacle missiles, or Thor's hammer, or the Spirit bomb. But that's only the tip of the iceberg, because the true focus is claiming your own turf. That's right. You have to cover the entire ground with your own teammate's color. That's the meat of the game, and I love it. It's simple as that. Whoever covers the ground with the teammate's color wins the game. But if you're not into the whole turf war, don't worry, there's other things to do, like the rank battle. These rank battles have different modes for you to play, like the Black Zones, where it's similar to King of the Hill, where you have to cover a certain area of ink to gain points, while at the same time make sure the opponent doesn't gain any points. Or Tower Control, where you lead a platform to enemy's base, or the new one, Clan Blaze, where you have to collect clans. Unfortunately though, there is a catch. In order to join the rank battles, you have to reach to a certain level, which means you can't actually start it from level 1. You have to reach to level 10. So, you play the game, try to rank up to level 10, and once you do it, you are able to join it. Not only that, but they also have a co-op play, which I unfortunately cannot show at this moment. I mean, for crying out loud, the first one involves you shooting balloons instead of playing the summer style to the Turf Wars, and the second one, while it's better with the Turf Wars inclusion in secondary mode, Salmon Run, all allows you to do is play with your friends privately, not even online, privately, and with Salmon Run you can set only a certain difficulty, and they can even select their own personal weapons that they're allowed to shoot. So not only I have to play it by myself on the Wii U's case unfortunately, but I also have to get a second Switch to showcase the co-op play for Splatoon 2. And I'm not wasting money to do that, by the way. Speaking of Salmon Run, that is another game mode you can play online as well. Salmon Run is basically, how can I describe it? Imagine a zombie game where you have to fight to survive. However, instead of running away and find your way towards freedom, your goal is to collect their younglings by a certain number 3 times before the time runs out. It sounds crazy, and yes, it is. From fighting mini-bosses to trying to run away from a horde of zombies that are attacking you to even trying to stop a salmon invasion. It gets crazy fast. Especially if you don't work very well with your teammates. Once you complete your hard-earned work, you upgrade your status and earn Grisco points from your boss, Grizzy. The more points you gain, the chance you can earn rewards like food, drinks, ability chunks, clothes, or even cash. Even though I like this mode, there are 3 main issues with it. For one, let's say you earn a certain rank like say professional. You're about to earn to the max, but your teammate is lower, let's say go-getter. Even if you win, you don't earn any points. In fact, you have to wait until your teammate or even your friends to reach the same rank as you. And if you lose, not only they lose points, but you do too. The second main issue is the weapons of choice. I wish you could just pick your own weapon of choice instead of having the game randomly pick it for you. It sounds a lot more better if you ask me. Not to mention, you don't have to pick the same weapon that your teammate has, but I digress. But the third main issue is the biggest one of them all. It's only open on certain days, certain times. And honestly, I feel like they shouldn't have done that. I feel like it should have been open up anytime, anywhere. But I digress. I hope that they have something similar to Summer Run for Splatoon 3. Perhaps even something even better. Perhaps Summer Run could be opened up anytime, anywhere, or perhaps there's a new mode that we never even thought of would ever appear in Splatoon until now. But time will tell.
Now, the only thing that I admire about Splatoon is that they use the gyro controls with the Wii U pad. I mean, sure, it feels weird controlling it, but at the same time, it's actually a fascinating idea that they move around as such. Not to mention, they use the touchpad that you can be able to jump to a certain point. Maybe a checkpoint, maybe where your opponent is at, or maybe where you can spawn in without the device being destroyed. Unfortunately, I wish I could say more about the X button to be the jump button. I'm glad that Splatoon 2 decides to switch the jump button to be the B button, but oh boy, I do not know who decided to use the idea of using the X button as the jump button. It's so confusing to me. Why not having the A button or the B button to jump is beyond me, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not complaining. Okay, if there's one thing I admire about this game, it's the ambition. There is so much of it.
The colors are vibrant, and the environment is huge, like a playground. I already did a comparison to Super Mario Galaxy with the story mode, but when you play a multiplayer mode, it's like a big, huge paintball ground where you can go up on the walls as a squid or octopus in this case, or go through gates when you turn into squid or octopus. You can shoot them on top, you can shoot them on bottom, you can roll them around, you can jump over certain areas to reach to a certain point. It's that massive. And the Switch, the Switch did it 10 times more than the Wii U. It's crazy. And the music, oh, I love the music. It's so fresh. And I know it's ironic to say that since they always reuse that line, but it's true. It has this techno beat, which I actually love it in this game. In fact, my main favorite music is actually the Squid Sisters theme music. Nothing, I repeat, nothing can top that. Okay, that officially did. And to get this out of the way, while Splatoon 1 doesn't look all that colorful comparing to the HD counterpart, they both actually look very well done. Runs very smoothly, and I didn't face any hiccups or mishaps whatsoever. I mean, yes, in the past they had some internet issues here and there, but they managed to work the kinks around it. I just hope they did the same thing with the other online games, like, what was that? And for crying out loud, stop running on the Windows 98 program. I mean, for Pete's sake, this is 2021.
keep up with the times. Let's get the hero mode out of the way. You have two main collectibles in Splatoon 1. The Power Eggs, which allows you to upgrade your weapons and sub-weapons, and the Scrolls. What do the Scrolls do? Well, they give it a little bit of lore around the world itself, give you an inside detail what the Splatoon world is. I mean, did you know that Splatoon takes place in the dystopian future, where everything that we know is in ruins, and instead of people, we became the Inklings we know today? Oh yes, and both of these games allow you to use the power eggs you gain throughout your journey to upgrade yourself. There are two small key differences between these two games of how they upgrade. For Splatoon 2's sake, they added these summons, which also allow you to upgrade your weapons. Though there is a catch, you can only find one of these things in each and every single level. Just like the scrolls, they are hidden very, very well. So, better keep that in mind. And yes, you heard me right, I said weapons. While Splatoon 1 didn't exactly allow you to test out any weapons you gain throughout the story, Splatoon 2 not only does that in the hub worlds, but also in the levels you already completed, giving you a unique strategy to them. I love this approach. I hope that they did this again in Splatoon 3. Outside of that, for a new player, well, there are these weapons you can buy, but in order to do that, you have to A, earn enough cash to buy for them, and B, reach to a certain level to earn the right to use those weapons. But Splatoon 1 doesn't have any way to boost up your points or the amount of coins you earn in the game. You actually are able to do this in Splatoon 2. Just grab a certain food or drink and boom! Your points would be stacked or your coins would be earned a lot more than ever before. Or also other effects too, like able to resist the ink a lot more than ever before. A boost of your sub-weapons, which I forgot to mention by the way, and various other things. There is one catch, however. You can't stack up one over the other. You have to either eat or drink one ability, or don't do it at all, and wait until the effects wear off. So yeah, better keep that in mind. But there's also other things to get, like the different type of clothes you can wear, a different type of footwear, headgear, but they're just more than just fashion. They're also there to give you, well, chunks to use during battle. Now, these chunks gives you special abilities. Like, for example, you can swim in the ink faster, or you can respawn quicker. However, there might be a chance that you don't like the chunk you got, and you want something else, something special. There is a way to do that. But in order to do something like that, you have to talk to Spike. Think of Spike as a black market. You just talk to him, and he can allow you to swap the chunks, or he can allow you to add an extra slot for you to gain another ability. A kind of unique idea, but there is a catch. He doesn't accept coins. No, the only thing he can accept is sea snails. And how do you get these sea snails? Well, there is only one way to do it. Back then, you can be able to get sea snails by just participating in Splatfest. Think of it like fighting for your own opinion, except you have to choose your side. And not only choosing one side, but also fighting for your side to win. Whether you win or lose, you still earn sea snails for participating. Now, you actually have to reach to level 30, talk to Judge, and he will offer you sea snails. Each and every time you level up, he will give you sea snails as rewards for leveling yourself up, left and right. So better keep that in mind.
With all the comparisons aside, which one is the best? Which one came up on top? Which one is Splatoon 2? Come on, obviously, it's Splatoon 2.
yeah, it's a no-brainer. Splatoon 2 is basically a Splatoon, but with a coat of paint. And is that bad? No, not really. In fact, I enjoyed this game a lot more than Splatoon 1. Though, I have a little bit of problems with it. I mean, for crying out loud, I love the salmon run, but they just make it so limited to certain dates, and it's kind of frustrating when it's the best part of the game. And while I do enjoy the single player, I wish the story is a little bit impactful like how the Octo expansion did. But perhaps Splatoon 3 might be the next step. That might be their next push to make Splatoon even better. But sadly, we don't know for sure. But that is my hope for it. Though this doesn't mean I discourage anyone to try out Splatoon 1. In fact, if you have a Wii U still, go ahead, grab the game, and try out for yourselves. The online surface is still up there for the Wii U for crying out loud. Just bear in mind there are a few themes that were missing for the Wii U. Rest in peace, Miiverse. Rest in peace. But if you have a Nintendo Switch, I recommend anyone to get this game and try out for themselves. And if they like it, well, get hyped for Splatoon 3, because it's coming out real soon.
So, those are my thoughts. What about yours? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to place a thumbs up and subscribe for the awesomeness. Till then, this is Jeremiah from JamFrog35 saying stay jamtastic and have yourself a very good time. Excelsior!
Excellent. Welcome, the Revival Robot.
Who are you?
Illegal. Glitch. I'm here to give you opportunity. But you never see this many generations. The ability to wipe out your enemies and conquer your own. But you know what? You have to do something for me first.
What do you need from me then?
I'm sure you'll remember this lordship.
What? The Phantom Ruby? I thought it was destroyed. How did you...
Abilities to bring various things from other dimensions. I couldn't be able to escape from this world. And return. Your own dimension will be yours to call.
Then it's a deal.